The pervasive darkness is all around you, but do you see the airy lights just 100 kilometers above you? Those are the Aurora Borealis or Northern Lights. This dancing wonder of nature also occurs during the day, but it's here, in the darkness, that they really shine. Did you know that in traditional myths in Greenland, the Earth is depicted as a giant living whale floating calmly through the vast emptiness of space, and that the Aurora Borealis is the spew that arises from this spirited being? Quite the view, huh? Let's continue the journey towards the bright sun. Your moon boots have now taken you to the upper atmosphere at an altitude of around 100 kilometers. The mesmerizing green colors that surround you are basically the charged particles of a solar storm called plasma that collides with atoms of oxygen and nitrogen. In this meeting, the charged particles of the solar storm transfer energy to these atoms and excite them. And to calm back down, the oxygen and nitrogen ejects some of this energy in form of light, or the Aurora Borealis. You have now moved further up on your journey into space. Traveling along the route of a solar storm, you are now witnessing a yellow auroral display. This particular color is actually a rarity among the auroral colors, and only the lucky ones will experience it. Not as common as the green color, the yellow aurora is a mixture of red with green or blue. At this altitude, the dancing lights will predominantly be green. At altitudes between 100 and up to 250 kilometers above Earth, the concentration of oxygen is relatively high. And when the plasma of the solar storm collides with atoms of oxygen, green light is emitted. Even more, the human eye detects the green color more readily than other colors. Stay for a while and enjoy the view, or try yet another step on the stairway to outer space. Approaching the sun, you are now at an altitude where nitrogen is more plentiful than oxygen, and when solar plasma encounters the atoms of nitrogen, the result is a breathtaking purple display. The purple color appears less frequently than the green, but the result is just as beautiful. Are you ready for one more step? You are now in the middle of a solar storm that is hurling away from the sun and into space at a velocity of up to unbelievable 8 million kilometers per hour. Imagine that. You are now moving more than 2.2 million meters per second. Here, on the path away from the sun, you would pass the planet Mercury after 6 hours, the planet Venus after 12 hours, and only after 18 hours after leaving the surface of the sun, you would be back at planet Earth. You have probably already noticed yet another spirited animal floating in the boundaries of the colorful display. No? Take another look. In traditional Finnish folklore, the mythical fire fox causes the Aurora Borealis when it runs through the blistering cold. So fast, its tail causes sparks to fly up into the dark night sky. But let's leave the fox for a while and continue further up. You have now reached the bright and shiny birthplace of the Aurora Borealis, our Sun. It means that you have now traveled 150 million kilometers away from Earth. Though the Sun is just another star in the Milky Way, among billions of other stars, it's still massive by our standards. You can fit around 1.3 Earths inside the Sun. The bright giant can be understood as a power plant where nuclear energy is created. Look at the Sun. It might be hard to see at the bright surface, but small, dark spots will occasionally occur on the surface. These are known as sunspots, and they mark areas of the surface where electrically charged particles, called plasma, are breaching through the surface. When escaping the Sun, billions of tons of plasma is released into space. Well, aren't you curious to know what comes next?